Hello everyone and welcome to our virtual community kitchen. Today we are making linguine Alfredo with shrimp and a little bit of spinach. So we hope that you enjoy this recipe. But before we begin, let's smudge. Okay, let's begin. So if you've registered for this week's recipe, you should receive some pasta, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, some salt, garlic, and Alfredo sauce with some spinach, a little bit of red onion, shrimp. And as a final touch, if you would like, there's some chili flakes, or at the end I will show you how to make the hot oil that I always talk about. I've taken the liberty to start the boiling water, and now I'm going to cut the parsley into very fine little pieces. And this dish, once it is done, it is so lovely to look at. It is very enticing. So I've already added the water. It's just started to boil, so that is great. I have my little pot here ready for my Alfredo sauce to go in once it's time. And also I have my pan here to sear and cook the shrimp. So first we are going to add the pasta to the boiling water. And it's nice to add salt to the boiling water in order to give it that little bit of nice flavor. So I've just added the pasta, and now I'm going to give it a stir so it doesn't cook all getting stuck together. Now I'm going to add some salt to the water. Very good. Now I'm going to let that be for a while. I've already just chopped up very finely the parsley, Italian parsley, so that is put aside. I've already cut little slivers of red onion, and now I'm going to cut my garlic. And this garlic is going to be for the shrimp. As I'm frying the shrimp, this will go in with it. Every so often I'm going to be checking on the pasta, making sure that it's not clumped together, so I'm just going to give it a little stir. Okay, that's coming along nicely. It will be done in a few minutes. So now I'm going to empty out my jar of Alfredo sauce into a little pot. And I'm going to heat it up. So I've emptied the Alfredo sauce into that little pot that I have here. However, there's still a little bit in the jar, so I don't want to waste that. I'm just going to add a little bit of water, shake that up, and then pour it inside. Also, I find that this sauce is really nice. It's very creamy, but sometimes with the hot pasta, it becomes too sticky. And so with a little bit of water, it's going to make it a little bit more runny and more like a sauce. And so that's what I'm looking for. Instead of it being so pasty. So believe it or not, our dish is almost done, if you think about it. Our pasta is on its way. Our Alfredo sauce is on the stove. It's on low because I don't want to rush that process and get it to burn at the bottom. And in a moment, I'm going to start with the shrimp. But before we do that, I just want to talk to you for a couple minutes about routines and consistency with children. So routines are really important because they help the family move forward together and cohesively. Everybody knows what is expected, what is to come, and how the day is going to be played out. However, these routines do not magically appear overnight, and just because you work on it for 1 week, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden your children should know it. This takes practice, 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 and more practice. And this is where the consistency is really, really important. So in the morning, it is really important that children know what to do. So along with your kit, you will be receiving a few visuals. So for example, a morning routine. So I'll bring that up a little bit closer here. So over here you can see what your child must do in order to get ready for school as well. We also have another visual here, which is getting dressed. And over here, it tells you step 1, what to do, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And it just makes it easier for the child to know what to do next. So they may want to get dressed, but maybe they may put on their shirt first or their sweater first and then have to go backwards. So this is very simple, easy steps to follow. So I really like this visual. In addition, we also have a nighttime routine because night times can be also another time where it can be a little bit hairy in the house. And we are also providing a little instant tack in order for your walls not to be damaged with tape or anything like that. So you put them up, possibly in the children's bedroom, probably where beside their dresser, in order for them to see it when they are getting ready in the morning. I remember when my children were growing up, it was very, very challenging to get my children to be on the same page and getting ready. So I was trying to get myself ready, getting them ready. So something like this would have been very, very helpful in order for all of us to have a focus on what to do. But also why routines and consistency is really important is because also children get to learn these new skills. And by practicing over and over, you're not just hoping that your child, hey, we had a beautiful morning. This is also looking towards the future for your child. This is an investment in order for them to establish healthy routines. These visuals can also be very, very helpful because if you have many children, this allows you to possibly focus on the younger ones while the older ones are following the steps that they have to go through. So your attention can be focused on the child that cannot do it and needs all of your attention. So as children start to practice these new skills, they may not get them right away. Maybe one day they're doing so well and they're really focused, and other days they may need a little bit more of your assistance. In order to help them along, continue to praise them. Praise the behavior that they're doing that you really are appreciating in order for them to know this is what is expected, this is what my mom likes. Or my caregiver likes, so I want to please, and so I'm going to do better every day. So that is really wonderful. Also too, if you think your children are very, very young, you can still practice when they're very, very young, getting ready. So you talk them through getting ready, whatever activity you're doing. So if you are getting their pajamas, you can talk through the whole process. Look, I'm going to your dresser. I am getting your pajamas. Oh, look, we're gonna put your top on right now. That's your right arm, your left arm. Now let's put it on your bottoms. And so now the right leg, the left leg, and so on. And this is how your child later on will remember, oh, I go to the dresser and this is where my pajamas are, and this is where my tops and my bottoms are. And so this will stay in their head because they have that dialogue and they've heard it so many times. So with that said, routines are just work in progress all the time. And as soon as your child meets a new milestone, or changes happen, or family moves, or children is changing schools, or different schedules happen all the time. And it's important to be also flexible, because not every day is the same. Sometimes you have other appointments, and so the day starts a little bit later, and so on. The idea is to be flexible and move with what is needed. And also be kind to yourselves, because not everything works out according to plan. So let's get back to the recipe. So our pasta's ready, and it's draining right now as we speak. And now it is time to start with the shrimp. So I'm going to add a little bit of oil. I'm going to turn this up on max. I'm going to add my garlic. Just a little bit of the parsley. And I'm going to let that cook for a little bit until it starts heating up. Very nice. I don't know if you can hear it, but the oil is really heating up the garlic very nicely. I'm also going to use a little bit of cracked pepper in order to give it that little spicy flavor. The garlic is turning nice and brown, so I'm going to add the shrimp right now. Shrimp is something you don't want to overcook. If you overcook it, then it becomes kind of rubbery, and you want it kind of just tender. So once it turns pink on both sides, that's when it's ready. So my shrimp are done. They're looking nice and toasty and seared. I like where that is going. Now I'm going to start plating. I'm going to add my spinach at the bottom of my plate. I'm going to add my pasta. So as you can see, this is what I have so far. So our sauce is ready now. Oh, this is looking lovely. Just give it a little bit more of a drizzle. That is looking great. Now I would like to add a little sprinkle of garlic powder. Just a little bit of salt. Some Parmesan cheese. Now we just want to add a few little slivers of red onion. This will give it a nice, pretty look, but also an interesting flavor too. Now I want my shrimp. This is looking so fancy. To me, this is the most polished dish we've done so far. To me, it looks like restaurant style. Now I want a little bit of the parsley on top. And I always talk about using hot oil. So what I have here, I wanted to show you. I have a little jar that had jam in it, and I've saved the top as well for it. And I've just added some chili flakes in here. And now, just to show you how easy it is, I add just a little bit of the oil. Oops. And in about 24 hours, this is going to become hot oil. And so you just drizzle it over your food, and the oil is actually going to change into a deep orange, and that is exactly what you want. So you could also add a little bit of salt just to give it a flavor as well. But I already have my hot oil available to me, so I'm going to use that. And so now it's drizzling the hot oil. And what I like to do to make it pretty along the sides is just adding a little bit of color. So I'm just going to bring up the plate so you're able to see what we have here. So this here is our Linguine Alfredo with shrimp. I hope you enjoy this recipe with your family, and take care everyone. Bye-bye.